welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, October 7th, 2016. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. It is the private sector which trades and not the state. That's according to Director of Trade, Cuthbert Knights, in his address at a workshop earlier this week aimed at strengthening consultative mechanism for discussion between the private and public sectors. Stressing the need for greater involvement by the private sector in trade collaborations with the public sector, Knight said the partnership between the sectors can go a long way towards developing the country.
We can speak of the Doing Business report, which shows that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not doing too bad. But there's significant room for improvement. And it means, therefore, for such an improvement to come about, there has to be some role for both the state and the private sector to collaborate together in helping to improve such a ranking. Sustainable development goals. It is not possible for the state alone to ensure the implementation of these development goals. It is simply not possible. So again, there is scope, there is room for this sort of collaborative effort between the public and private sector to ensure the effective implementation of these goals.
Making reference to the European Union Caribbean Forum, EU Trade Agreement CARIFORUM, Knights noted that the private sector needed to approach trading opportunities under the agreement more seriously.
This is an agreement which promises to bring significant benefit to us and to our economy. And for this to happen, we must have the serious involvement of the private sector. And I hasten to say again, there might be several reasons why this is so. And this does not happen only in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Throughout CARIFORUM states, there has not been a proper and full utilization. It is our hope that in attempting to galvanize and bring and put in place a mechanism, we can probably have or could probably capture the interest and imagination of the private sector to see how best we can move ahead in terms of utilizing the opportunities.
Outlining that there can be a lot of challenges coming out of trading agreements, technical advisor at the CARICOM Secretariat, Joel Richards, urged the private sector to display more confidence in the quality of their goods and services as they can compete on international markets. He further called for greater organization and strengthening of the private sector,
so that we can embark on a capacity building program for the private sector. Because if government is inviting the private sector to be part of a dialogue, government also should be interested in ensuring that the private sector is equipped to make meaningful inputs into that process. And I personally would like to see a lot more of those products on international markets. I think we have a CARICOM market that's where we probably need to focus attention first, use it as a platform to then launch out globally. And that's why we negotiate all these trade agreements. Unfortunately, we haven't been bringing our private sector along swiftly enough. And I'm hoping that this dialogue is the start of that process.
The Basic Needs Trust Fund, in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank and the Rural Transformation Unit, earlier today wrapped up their 5 weeks of technical vocational training in the 4 demand areas of air conditioning and refrigeration repairs, electrical installation, plumbing and bartending services. Speaking at today's closing, Minister of Agriculture Sabota Caesar noted that as Vincentians, our responsibility is to enhance and develop our country, and at all times our focus should be on adding value to our country. He also urged the graduates to remain focused on production and producing.
End of the day, you must ask yourself this question. If these distractions can help you pay your light bill, your water bill, pay your passage for your vacation, help you to change your house roof, and help you to put food on your table. And I want to begin this morning by asking our young persons to put aside those things from our minds which the Bible says so easily beset us. You could be the best plumber in the world. You could be the best bartender in the world. If in a 24-hour day, you want to spend 10 hours talking gossip, you would not advance yourself, you would not advance your family, you would not advance your community or your country.
Chief Agricultural Officer Ashley Kane highlighted that learning becomes a useless thing unless it is shared, and persons should find ways to multiply, share, develop, and spread knowledge so that St. Vincent and the Grenadines could become a great place.
When we go other places and we get employment or we live there, people would see a certain ethic in the Vincentian person, particularly the Vincentian young people. That makes them want to say, boy, wherever they come from, I wish we could get more. So beyond St. Vincent, because you see, sometimes we tend to think of our little island and our small space as the universe. It is far from the universe. We're only a small part of the universe. So it is my wish and desire and hope that through the excellence, through the innovation, the creativity, which this training has now allowed you to explore, that you would benefit and we as a nation would be better for it all.
Director of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, Nigel Scott, noted that partnerships are critical for the functioning of the college and thanked the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank for their support.
I trust that this is going to be a partnership and a relationship that continues for a very long time, Mr. Douglas, so that we can continue to carry out this training and to fulfill this mandate throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We recognize that not everybody who leaves secondary school will meet the entry requirements of the 5 CSEC passes, including English A and in some cases mathematics. We also recognize that not everybody will actually complete secondary school and be able to matriculate directly into the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College. And so partnerships like this that allow us to reach out to persons who are unemployed and who need a skill are critical.
Describing the land slippage at Clare Valley during Tropical Storm Matthew as a serious issue that needs to be addressed, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves says he is awaiting documentation advising on methods to be used in repairing the damage. At a media conference early this week, PM Gonsalves said the financial costs of the repairs would most likely come in the last quarter of the 2016 budget, so as to preclude a rollover into next year's budget.
A documented report, and very importantly for me, to tell me how much money will be required to correct this between now and December, because any additional work will have to be put into the budget for 2017. So I told him, I said, give me a totality of what the problem is, how much that will cost to solve. But if it will take more than 2 months to solve, tell me how much for this year, because I don't want to look for money where in the large sum when I have to go to the budget next year.
Dr. Gonsalves, who is also Minister of Finance with responsibility for disaster management, said overall he is pleased to see established building construction guidelines are being observed in most construction taking place in the state, except where there is cost limitations.
There are limitations in the construction of some houses and also retaining walls. And that's all part of the skill sets which we have on the ground. Costs involved, and we need to do more in terms of advertisement, education and the like. The national thing is that's an ongoing educational thing which we have to do, and the training of persons, etc., etc. We're improving in the building of the quality of the houses, you know. But sometimes people have limited monies and the way they build a house. These are some of the challenges which we face.
Reading from a letter served by lawyer K. Bacchus Batiste dated 30th September 2016, on Member of Parliament for Central Leeward, Sir Louis Straker, President of the New Democratic Party, the NDP, and opposition leader Annie Eustace, is calling on Sir Louis to present documented evidence that he gave up his U.S. citizenship. Eustace said although the letter was dated 30th September 2016, Sir Louis only received the letter yesterday and he has 7 days to respond. This letter claims that Sir Louis is in breach of Section 26 and Section 35(1)(a) of the Representation of the People's Act, which prohibits a candidate from holding dual citizenship.
By virtue of your own act, on the acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power, namely the USA. My clients have instructed me to request your resignation within 7 days of today's date. But as I told you, you didn't get the letter until yesterday. Or produce proof of the date of any renunciation of your U.S. citizenship, failing which a High Court action will be commenced to hear and determine the question of whether you have been validly elected as a representative for the constituency of Central Leeward.
Eustace says the electorate of Central Leeward deserved the right to know Sir Louis' citizenship status and was prompt to dispel claims that the NDP had been delinquent in addressing the issue.
This is a very public issue. Since you have and are still being paid by the people as a validly elected minister, we anticipate your prudent and responsible action. The constituency of Central Leeward rightfully demands to know this. I have heard some comments on radio that the NDP took too long and so on, and while I understand those comments, several attempts over the years have been made. Several institutions, including the U.S. Embassy, have been written to on this matter without avail. So it's not that it took time, but we weren't provided with the information from sources which we think should have provided it. I want that to be clearly understood. So that is the present state of things, and over the next few days you will hear more. We have 7 days to see whether he responds or not, and then he'll tell you what the next action will be.
Officials of the American University of St. Vincent say they are not satisfied with the work of the police here. This comes on the heels of an incident at Camden Park area where 3 female students were robbed around 4:30 this morning of their laptops, mobile phones, wallets, bags, and money. According to the campus operations manager, Sham, the utmost priority is given to the students as it is the school's responsibility to take care of its students. But he said he is somewhat disappointed with the lackluster performance of the police in solving this and similar previous incidents.
I believe it's when any foreigners comes to this country, is the responsibility of the country or responsibility of the law and order to give the safety or make sure that foreigners should be safe here. But from my past experience, I can say that many times it failed and we never got anywhere with the robbery, or even if we report any of these incidents, we never get back any kind of an answer that whether the robbers got catch, they got, or any of the valuables never obtained.
So essentially, you're not satisfied with the work of the police here?
No, none at all. It's not. I can say more than 5 to 6 incidents I can recall from my memory. Every incident we report to the police, but whatever we lost is we lost. We never got back anything.
Sham added that the students, 2 Nigerians and 1 Ghanaian, are said to be too scared to return to their current residence, and the school will now set about locating more secure accommodation for them.
We're going to talk to the landlords and inform them, and they don't want to go back to the same house because many of the landlords, they don't provide much security wherever they are here. They usually give the apartments, but when it comes to security, it's minimal. So it's very easy for the robbers or anybody, even if it's not a trained robber, it's very easy for them to rob, because many of my students are like 18 to 20, 22, and they leave their country and come here. They don't have any other support than faculty, and on school they are like many times like they're not easy to handle it to, you know, the situations like this. So it's happening, and because of this incidents and many previous incidents, students are leaving the schools too, it's very much concerned by the students that the safety is one of the main important factor in the country. They are not feeling safe at all.
Meantime, Assistant Professor and Dean of Student Affairs of the American University of St. Vincent, Dr. Shaquille Henson, believes the police can do more to ramp up security in this country. She said while the school exercises several assessments prior to students moving into their respective residence, they still rely heavily on the police. Henson further noted that citizens should take the responsibility of also ensuring the security of foreign students, as they will in the long run offer great benefits to the country.
In the past, since this has happened, we've had the police involved, and they have assured us that they will scrutinize, or they'll essentially patrol the areas that the students live in. I don't know if they've been doing that to an extent, or how much they've been doing it. Perhaps they have. I cannot say definitively what they've done, how much they've done, but they have assured us in the past. We can essentially just educate the public. They're here, they're students, they're aspiring physicians, they're here to contribute more to the public, and we should not be subjecting, or the public should not actually be subjecting them to harm where they interfere with their studies and interfere with that potential for them to give back to the community in the future.
One family in Clare Valley is on the hunt for their relative who they say is missing. 51-year-old Roland Slater is reported to have been last seen on Wednesday, October 5th, after he left home at around 5:30 a.m. According to Sister Denisha Ginger Slater, the family is extremely concerned about the whereabouts of her brother, who she says is physically challenged. Slater added that since Wednesday, several search parties have been unsuccessful in locating the 51-year-old Slater.
Well, we got some guys went inside the boat, and me and some others went as far as Barley. So someone said a story named Barley. And when we went Barley yesterday and saw a picture of him, some people said that they saw him down by the fish market and that he left. So we went back last night saying that he might probably come back there, and he did not came back, so we didn't see him. So we don't know what else to say about that.
The worried sister says while persons claim of having seen his brother in the area of Barley, her concerns have been further heightened as none of these claims have so far been confirmed.
We're still worried because even though they say they saw him back on Thursday night, we went they saw him back, right, on Wednesday night. We went yesterday Thursday. We went back in the night. He did nothing, so you don't know if he walked further or what would happen to him. Well, I'm appealing to persons that I send up a picture on Facebook, and if they see him, they can contact us. Our number is 4578804 or 5263081 or 5313854. They could just, if they see him, just call the closest police station. They could just set me by my bar, Ginger Bar at Tokyo, Leeward Bus Terminal. I just ask anyone for Ginger. That's my brother.
Those numbers again are 457-8804, 526-3081, or 531-3854. Meantime, authorities at the Kettles police station stated that while they are currently investigating claims that the missing Slater was seen in the Barley area, they are hopeful he will not be harmed. All winners and runners-up of competitions held during this year's Vincy Mas celebrations were presented with their awards last evening at the Carnival Development Corporation's prize-giving ceremony, which officially marked the end of the CDC's calendar of events for the June-July 2016 festival. Noting that the event serves as a celebration of the champions of Vincy Mas, CDC Chairman Ricardo Ricky Adams outlined some of the areas of interest to be addressed by the newly appointed board. Adams, who was given his first official address as chairman of the organization, noted that while there will be numerous challenges ahead, the board is ready for duty and will be aiming for greatness.
Thank you very much to all the members of the previous boards, the immediate previous board and the boards that preceded them. Because to build any house, you need to start with a foundation. And they have taken Vincy Mas from where it was in the pre-1977 period to where we are 40 years on. Vincy Mas is about what we as a board working together can do with the inputs from all of the components, all of the players. And when I say the players, I mean the people in the tourism industry, the people in the business sector, the people in the religious community, because everybody has an interest in making sure that our culture continues to grow and our culture continues to bring forth a festival that is to the benefit of every Vincentian. And we're going to work with all the players to ensure that our 2017, our 40th anniversary celebration and beyond, continues to contribute to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vincy Mas being recognized as the hottest carnival in the Caribbean.
Providing an overview of what he deemed as a successful Vincy Mas 2016, Minister of Culture Cecil Sesmaki expressed hope that his ministry, along with the CDC and other stakeholders, will continue their efforts in enhancing the festival.
And we want to say at this point, not only do we recognize the winners in Vincy Mas, but we also recognize everyone who would have participated, because together, in combination, we all play our part in making Vincy Mas the success that it is year after year. And we want to ask all Vincentians, those gathered here, those who will hear this program, those who will see in the print media, we want to ask all of you to take ownership of Vincy Mas. See yourselves as part of the product that we are offering as ambassadors of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and of the Vincy Mas product. Once we do this, then we can be assured that the carnival will continue to grow from strength to strength.
Outgoing chairman of the CDC, Dennis Ambrose, urged all persons involved in Vincy Mas to keep up their hard work while remaining creative in what they put out. He further expressed gratitude to all stakeholders who worked along tirelessly with the CDC during his tenure to make Vincy Mas the hottest carnival in the Caribbean.
Express my sincere gratitude to all the persons, companies, and other stakeholders with whom I've had the pleasure of working with over the years. We have learned a lot about each other, and I always feel certain that as a team, we are better off in the end result. The generosity of the NLA cannot be overstated. Today, we have so many private entities seeking to play a meaningful part in the national festival. And equally so, there are those who wish to carve up the current product of Vincy Mas. I wish the incoming chairman and his team good luck. I hope that we will be able to continue the transformations for which the groundwork have been laid. I believe that they will have their innovations, but like so many other things in life, some challenges will always lie ahead. Just be prepared to work your way through with the belief that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Persons who are not financially or otherwise able to have their dogs and cats spayed and neutered will be able to benefit from the Vincentian Society for the Prevention of Cruelty Towards Animals, VSPCA's upcoming free spaying and neutering clinics. While speaking with the Ministry of Agriculture project coordinator at the VSPCA, Trudy Archer, explained that a team of veterinarians will be in SVG to help tackle the island's problem of dog and cat overpopulation.
A team of 7 veterinarians and 7 technicians and assistants. 2 vets are coming from Italy, 1 is Japanese, and 4 are American. This is wonderful news, not only for the Vincentian Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, also should be for the government and the whole nation. And it is an opportunity for the less fortunate persons to have their dogs and cats fixed. This kind of work is normally carried out by government in other countries. Unfortunately, St. Vincent is not in a position financially to set up a unit to address this problem. Until this happens, we will continue the best that we can to address the problem.
Aja added that the organization will be targeting remote areas in SVG where persons will not have easy access to veterinary services, and explain some of the other services which will be available during the upcoming sessions.
One of those chosen areas is Bayabu. There we will be in the Learning Center next Thursday from 9 till 5 o'clock. And the other area is Obia, where we will be next Friday and Saturday, also from 9 till 6 o'clock. In Obia, it is at the sheep pen close to the salt pond. VSPCA is also offering free service to these surgery places for the persons who do not have the means of transportation, but it has to be booked in advance. They have to call in. The telephone number is 532-9327. If you need transportation to one of those places, please call the VSPCA.